Most men lose interest before they even realize what they're doing wrong. Listen closely. If she isn't interested, you can't pressure her into missing you. You can't message your way into attraction. And you definitely can't play the nice guy role your way into her emotions. But you can trigger a feeling she didn't expect to experience. And when it's done correctly, she'll catch herself thinking about you. Even when she promised herself she wouldn't. Even after she told her friends you were just a friend. Even when she believed she had you completely figured out. I'm going to break down exactly how to flip that internal switch. Without chasing, without pleading, without sacrificing your self-respect or dignity. Because once you truly understand this, you stop being one of many options. And you become the man she can't get out of her mind. This isn't about manipulation or control. This is about understanding human psychology at a depth most men never reach. And by the end of this, you'll clearly understand why she isn't missing you right now. More importantly, you'll learn the precise, step-by-step way to change that. This truth hurts. But once you see it, you can't unsee it. So, let's begin with the uncomfortable reality. Why isn't she missing you at all? And if you believe it's because you're not good enough, you're about to discover the real reason she isn't thinking about you. Picture this for a moment. She barely replies to your messages. When you suggest meeting up, she's suddenly busy. She speaks to you like a casual buddy, and every conversation feels flat, like a daily weather update. You've tried being kinder, you've tried being more available, and somehow, her interest has dropped even further than before. Here's the hard truth most men avoid. Everything you think you understand about attracting a woman who isn't interested is completely backwards. The more you try to prove your value to her, the more you quietly confirm her belief that you're not worthy of her romantic attention. Why? This is the invisible reason attraction quietly fades. Because in her perception, every man is constantly pushing himself into her awareness, and your effort simply blends into the crowd. Her mind has to defend itself from that non-stop stream of attention, and the way it does that is by filtering you out. She isn't turning you down because you aren't enough. She's indifferent because you've given her no clear reason to notice a difference. Human psychology is built on contrast. We overlook what feels common. We desire what feels rare. So when your attention is always available, it loses its perceived value, which means if you want her to start missing you, you don't give her more, you give her less. Because here's the paradox most men miss. The moment she feels your absence, she becomes aware of the space you once filled. And that's when curiosity begins working in your favor. So if giving more makes her care less, what actually causes her to start missing you? That's where the real strategy begins. This one move alone separates men she forgets from men she starts wondering about. How to make her miss you. Before we go any deeper, do one simple thing for me. Hit the like button. If this is already touching something real, what comes next will land even harder. Let's keep moving. Here's the first move. And for most men, it's the most difficult. Remove yourself from her front row. Not in a petty or emotional way. Not with an angry message. Not with a dramatic, "I'm blocking you" announcement. Just quietly step out of her everyday life. No more constant messaging. No more liking every post she shares. No more positioning yourself as her backup option. Stop watching her stories. Stop reacting to her photos. In the digital age, disappearing from her online world is often far more noticeable than disappearing from her physical one. Why? Because it creates a pattern interrupt. Your name no longer appears in her notifications. The familiar background presence disappears. And the human brain dislikes unfinished patterns. But here's the catch. Your absence cannot look empty or lifeless. This is where most men get it wrong. They disappear. then sit at home, scrolling, refreshing her Instagram. And that isn't attractive. This is where absence turns into attraction. You need to build a life that's full and clearly visible. Friends, hobbies, time at the gym, travel, fresh photos, new momentum, new energy. When she notices your life moving forward without her, two thoughts hit almost instantly. 1. Wow, he's actually doing fine without me. 2. Wait, who is he spending all that time with? That second thought is powerful, because that's where curiosity begins. Now we add social proof. Share moments from your life that naturally include other people, especially women. Don't force it. Don't pose with strangers just to provoke jealousy. Authenticity always wins here. And here's something most men overlook. Memory triggers, inside jokes, unique references, a specific song, a familiar scent, a phrase that's uniquely tied to you. So when she hears it or encounters it again, you reappear in her mind without doing anything at all. Add another layer, intellectual stimulation. Share ideas that expand her thinking, new perspectives, thought-provoking concepts, skills and interests she doesn't already have. When you're gone, she isn't just missing your attention, she's missing the way you made her think. And when the moment comes to re-enter her world, do it with intention, not 2 days later, not the moment she sends a casual "Hey stranger" message. Wait long enough for her to genuinely feel your absence. 2 to 6 weeks, depending on how frequently you used to communicate. This is where everything quietly changes. Return better than you were before, more confident, more physically sharp, more mentally focused. No explanations, no apologies. Just the calm presence of a man who's been living well. That's how indifference turns into intrigue. And here's the deeper truth. When you execute this correctly, it's no longer just about her missing you. It's about becoming the kind of man no one forgets. I know this isn't easy. When you care about someone, your instinct is to give more, to prove your value. But in reality, that instinct is exactly what destroys attraction. You have to step back. Not because you're playing games, but because you're building a life so rich, so full, so magnetic. Whether she chooses you or not, you're still winning. If this hit close to home, drop a comment with the word value so I know you're serious about leveling up. And hit that subscribe button, because what's coming next goes even deeper. If you believe that carving out a six-pack, driving an expensive car, or finally hitting that six-figure income is the secret formula to making women genuinely drawn to you, pause right there, because that belief is misleading. This isn't pessimism, it's reality. Many men only realize this after investing years of disciplined effort. You can spend 5 or 6 years training hard, growing your bank balance, upgrading your wardrobe, refining your look, choosing the perfect haircut, even redesigning your entire lifestyle, yet still feel invisible when it comes to women. Yes, you may get some surface-level reactions. A smile here, a bit of flirting there, maybe even 1 or 2 dates. But deep inside, you'll sense the gap. She isn't emotionally engaged. She isn't thinking about you when you're not around. She isn't reaching out first. She isn't truly intrigued. Now here's where it really hits hard, because you'll eventually notice another man. No gym routine, no impressive income, nothing that stands out on paper, and yet women naturally move toward him. They laugh freely around him, open up emotionally, form attachments quickly, and even show signs of jealousy when he pulls back or doesn't respond. While you're standing there asking yourself, how is this possible? I did everything I was told to do. Why isn't it working for me? But before we go any further, here's a question that might change how you see everything. What if attraction was never about what you achieve, but about what you trigger emotionally? Here's the first uncomfortable truth. You can check every box and still not be the man she chooses, because women don't become attached to what you display. They become attached to how they feel in your presence. And if you don't understand what creates that internal experience, all your hard work will keep taking you back to the same outcome. So if you're exhausted from being the impressive guy who still gets overlooked, stay with me. I'm going to explain this clearly, step by step. This isn't speculation. This is what actually works. Let's begin with a core reality most men overlook. Being impressive alone does not make you unforgettable. You can look polished, speak smoothly, even make her laugh. Yet the instant your energy reveals that you're seeking her approval, the connection fades before it ever forms. Why does this happen? Because women aren't drawn to men who chase validation. They're drawn to men who genuinely don't require it. That distinction changes everything. So if your primary goal is still to impress her, you've already put yourself at a disadvantage. Women observe far more than you realize. Your tone of voice, your posture, the way your eyes hold contact. You may believe you're projecting confidence, but if that confidence is fueled by money, attention, or social position, it isn't grounded. And she will recognize that immediately. That's why she doesn't pursue you. That's why she doesn't open up emotionally. That's why she doesn't invest energy into keeping you. From her perspective, you're performing and she's simply watching. And when there's no emotional investment, the outcome is already decided long before she ever walks away. So this leads to the next real question. What do women actually get attached to? They attach to your internal state. That's the truth. Not your clothes, not your career, not your physical build. They attach to how they feel in your presence. And that feeling is created only when you're solid on the inside, stable, composed, unaffected. That's what settles into her mind. That's what stays with her. That's what causes her thoughts to circle back to you, even when you're not there. Because most men lack this presence. They chase, they over-explain, they shift themselves, they try to control how she perceives them. And that behavior shuts everything down, because the instant a woman senses that you need her to perceive you a certain way, she disengages emotionally. She's not searching for a man who needs approval. She's drawn to a man who already knows who he is, whether she's present or not. And if you can't offer that inner certainty, you might gain physical interest, but you'll never hold her attention mentally. And without her mind, she'll move on faster than you expect. So here's the real question. How do you actually build that kind of presence? Before we go further, do me a quick favor, tap the like button. If this message already connects with you, what comes next will hit even deeper. Now this is where many men lose interest because it doesn't sound exciting or glamorous. You build that presence through stillness. You develop it by confronting your own pain, your insecurities, and the quiet moments without escaping them. You stop trying to dominate the room. You stop trying to entertain everyone. You stop trying to constantly prove your value. Instead, you root yourself in who you truly are, even when no one is clapping for you. You release the hunger for validation. You stop over-explaining yourself, and you step out of the endless cycle of chasing approval. And when that happens, something shifts, subtly but powerfully. You're no longer waiting for her to decide if you're enough. You're no longer hunting reactions or hoping to be chosen. You're simply grounded in your own presence. That calm, that quiet certainty, that's what draws her closer. That's what makes her feel pulled in, almost magnetically. But let's go even deeper, because it's not just about how you carry yourself. It's about the emotional environment she feels when she's with you. When she feels emotionally secure, yet slightly unsettled at the same time, that's when attachment begins to form. Not because you're manipulating anything, but because you're no longer handing her the control she's accustomed to having. Most men give everything away immediately. They initiate every message. They ask too many questions. They reveal too much, too fast. They work overtime to keep the connection alive, and in doing so, they erase the mystery. They drain the tension. And once that happens, the fascination fades. You don't need to be cold. You don't need to act distant. But you do need emotional availability to be earned. You don't chase. You don't over-explain. You don't try to repair how she feels about you. You allow space for curiosity. And that curiosity, that uncertainty, creates discomfort. But it's productive discomfort, because now she's pursuing something she can't fully define, and that's how real attachment develops. Here's a powerful shift most men never make. What if the reason nothing worked before is because you were trying too hard to be unforgettable? Let me be clear. The moment you stop trying to be remembered, that's when you actually become unforgettable. You stop obsessing over perfect phrasing. You stop curating every post. You stop measuring your value by her reactions. Instead, you live fully, with or without her presence. And because your focus is no longer centered on her, she begins to focus on you. That's when the dynamic reverses. You're no longer hoping she chooses you. She's quietly asking herself, am I enough for him? That shift changes everything. But this is where most men undo it all. They finally sense her interest, and fear takes over. They panic. They try to secure her attention. They become overly available, emotionally reactive, too eager. And the moment that happens, the entire frame collapses, because as soon as she feels she's back in control, the intrigue disappears. So here's the final rule. 1. Most men never follow. You must be genuinely willing to lose her if you want to keep her. That level of courage is rare. The moment many men receive a little validation, they fall apart. They start performing again, chasing again, managing her emotions again, and in that instant, everything they built, everything that drew her in, falls apart. Because she isn't attached to your words, your car, or your lifestyle. She's attached to the feeling that she doesn't control you. The moment she senses that control returning, she leaves. Here's the real bottom line. You don't need to be wealthy. You don't need to be well-known. You don't need to be flawless. But if you can master your internal world and stop handing a woman power over your emotional state, she will feel it. And once she feels it, she won't forget you. If this message stings even a little, don't just scroll past it and move on. Come back to it whenever you notice yourself slipping into old patterns of chasing. Share it with that friend who seems to be doing everything right, yet still feels unseen. And above all, remember this: the moment you stop trying to impress her, the moment you stop needing her approval, the moment you choose yourself first, that's when the real transformation begins. Because what draws her in isn't your speech, your lifestyle, or even your achievements. It's how she feels in the presence of a man she cannot easily influence or control. That presence, that energy, is what makes you unforgettable. Have you ever noticed this? Some men disappear from a woman's memory almost instantly, while others leave a mark that never fades. If you think it's about looks or charm, you're already playing the wrong game. It's not about appearance. It's not about how funny he was. It's about how he made her feel. Most men live reactively. They chase approval, try to impress, over-explain, and quietly hope to be chosen. But a Stoic man, he moves differently. He doesn't perform. He doesn't beg for validation. He simply is. And that quiet confidence, that grounded presence, is what stays in her mind. When a man operates from inner strength instead of insecurity, he becomes rare. And the rare ones are never forgotten. So let's go deeper. Here are 6 traits that make a man unforgettable. Number 1. She never forgets the man who controls his emotions. Think about this for a moment. Most men lose control the second they feel rejected or disrespected. They raise their voices, they argue, they try to prove themselves. A Stoic man does the opposite. He breathes, he observes, he responds with calm precision. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not external events. Realize this, and you will find strength." A man who lives by that truth becomes unshakable. Now imagine this. She tries to provoke you. She says something sharp, just to test you. Instead of reacting, you stay composed. You smile slightly and say, "I understand." Then you move on. That silence, that control, it hits differently because emotional control equals safety. And every woman remembers the man who made her feel safe. Not through dominance, but through peace. Number 2, she never forgets the man who listens more than he speaks. In a world where everyone is trying to be heard, everyone is shouting opinions, interrupting, competing to talk, a Stoic man does the opposite. He listens deeply. He doesn't just hear words, he listens for meaning. When she speaks, he isn't waiting for his turn. He isn't rehearsing a reply, he is fully present. And that presence communicates something powerful without saying a word. You matter enough for me to be quiet. That kind of silence is rare and unforgettable because so few people offer it. When she feels genuinely understood, her heart links that stillness to warmth, safety, and respect. This is how emotional bonds are formed. Not through constant talking, but through intentional listening. And here's the truth most men miss. Listening doesn't make you invisible. It makes you irreplaceable. Number 3, she never forgets the man who walks away in peace. Endings reveal a man's true character. Most men beg, argue, or demand closure when they're rejected. A Stoic man doesn't. He simply says, "I wish you well," and then he walks away. No anger, no resentment, no revenge. Because his worth is not tied to the outcome. That kind of calm is powerful and unsettling. She expected chaos, but found composure. She expected drama, but witnessed mastery. And later, that moment replays in her mind. He didn't chase me, he let me go. That quiet dignity earns a level of respect she can't fully explain. Walking away is not a weakness. It's proof that you belong to yourself, and very few men ever reach that level of strength. Number 4, she never forgets the man who lives for a mission greater than her. A Stoic man's life doesn't revolve around anyone. It revolves around purpose. He wakes up with goals, builds something meaningful, and improves himself day by day. When she realizes you don't drop everything for attention, that your mission comes first, her respect for you deepens. Epictetus once said, "If you want to improve, be willing to be thought foolish and stupid, because your path won't always make sense to others, but it gives your life direction, structure, and meaning." Women are drawn to men with direction because direction creates certainty, and certainty feels safe. When you're focused, she knows she can't pull you off your path. And ironically, that's when you become most attractive. Because she sees your life is already full and she must earn her place within it. Number 5, she never forgets the man whose presence brings calm, not chaos. Excitement fades, passion fades, but calm endures. Most relationships collapse because they're built on emotional highs, jealousy, tension, constant drama. A Stoic man brings balance. His energy feels like a deep breath after a long day. When she's with him, she feels grounded. She can relax. She can be herself. She can trust that he won't lose control. And that's when she begins to associate your presence with peace. Once a woman connects you with peace, she never forgets you because peace is rare. And people never forget where they found it. And here's something few men realize. Chaos is common. Calm is unforgettable. Number 6, She never forgets the man who forgives silently. Forgiveness isn't weakness, it's strength. When you forgive, you're not saying what you did was acceptable. You're saying, you no longer have power over me. A Stoic man doesn't seek revenge. He doesn't gossip. He doesn't keep score. He lets time reveal the truth. Because holding on to bitterness only poisons the soul. And when she realizes you've let go without resentment, she feels something difficult to explain. Respect. Because forgiveness requires a level of strength most people never develop. Marcus Aurelius said it best. The best revenge is to be unlike your enemy. That is the essence of Stoicism, mastering yourself instead of trying to control others. So let's bring it all together. A woman never forgets the man who stays calm under pressure, who listens with presence, who walks away in peace, who lives with purpose, who radiates calm and who forgives without bitterness. An unforgettable man isn't the loudest in the room. He is the one who carries quiet strength, the one who remains centered no matter what happens. His confidence doesn't come from validation. It comes from virtue. He doesn't try to control how others see him, only how he shows up. And that is what makes him unforgettable. Because long after the messages fade, the memories blur and the emotions settle, she will still remember the man who didn't lose himself trying to win her. She'll remember the one who chose peace over pride, purpose over attention, and wisdom over reaction. If this message resonated with you, give it a like, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe to the channel for more insights on ancient wisdom, modern strength, and emotional mastery. And if you made it to the end of this lesson, comment, "I finished the lesson." I'd love to know who truly walks this path with discipline. Thanks for watching, and until next time, stay grounded, stay calm, and walk your path with quiet confidence.